Hello, welcome to a supplemental video for Lesson 00 in working with Python. This lesson is designed to go over a majority of the Python turtle, what the turtle can do, and some fundamental concepts of coding. This video, while public, was specifically intended for my intro to computer science class, soon to be Computing Foundations for a Digital Age. This video is going to encompass everything that I'm going to teach during Lesson 00. So, if you are one of my students and you are tuning into this video, check beneath or above the video, I'm going to put it somewhere in Canvas, of where you should skip to that contains relevant information for the in-class activity that we're currently on. But again, this video is all-encompassing. It's going to cover everything that we're going to talk about with the turtle. So if at any point you forget, you're having trouble, you're struggling with whatever is going on in class, come back to this video. I might recommend that you come watch this video and take a look at what I do in here. I'm going to go over all of the basic commands. I'm going to go over what we should be expecting from the turtle and just some general expectations from Python. So, without further ado, let's get started. First things first is you'll notice that I have two different windows open right now. I have on the left side of my screen what is called the shell. Now the shell is really good for running single lines of code, but it is not good for running entire files or for typing your code into, because we can't make corrections in the shell. So I want to stress this. You can't use the shell to make files for this class. You should be opening up a new file every time. You might be wondering, how do I go about doing that? Well, once you have idle open, so first things first, you have to have idle open. Now, I have some custom things on my screen to make my version of Windows look like it's from Windows XP, but on your version, you'll hit the Start button. You either hit the Start button or you'll hit the Search button down below, and you're going to type in IDLE, just like you see up here in the upper left corner of my screen. You're going to type in idle. You're going to open up idle. Yours should be version 3.13 or higher. I'm working on a slightly older version, but it doesn't matter. Nothing has changed between this version and the next version. Okay? You'll open up idle, and then you'll click on File, New File. That will open up a new file for you to use. Now, it is important then that you save this file. So you'll go File, Save, and you're going to save it somewhere where you're going to remember it. I also recommend you name it something you're going to remember. Look in Canvas for how you should name your files, okay? So I'm going to close that one down because I already have this file here, Lesson 00 supplemental video, okay? Now, what does it mean to be working in idle, working in Python? Python is a very high-level coding language. It is designed to be super simple to understand. For the purposes of this class, let's go ahead and start with one command up here at the top. We're going to type in the word import. As I typed in the word import, the thing I want to draw your attention to is that import changed color. Okay? If I add on another letter, say imports, you'll notice that it stops being that color. It stops being orange. If I get rid of the T, it stops being orange. When I have import typed in, that changes color. That's idle. That's Python letting us know, hey, you just typed in a important word, or what's called a reserved word. So to Python, the word import means something. And I also want to stress that it's lowercase import. If I put a capital I here, that doesn't work. It doesn't recognize that word anymore. It has to be a lowercase I. I put a space after it, and I'm going to put the word turtle. What this does is Python basically has it has a lot of commands available to it, but there's also a library that idle has access to. Think of a library like you would think of in school. So you go to the library and you check out a book. Maybe it's a book on the history of the United States. Maybe you don't know anything about the history of the United States, but by opening up that book, you know now, by reading through that book, you're going to know about the history of the United States. Python works in the same way. Python has access to a library that has a book called Turtle, but it doesn't open up that book until we tell it to open that book. Python assumes that maybe we don't want Turtle initially. By opening up that book, by saying import Turtle, we're saying to Python, hey, open up the book called Turtle, read through it, and give me all the commands that are available via the turtle. Okay? So I'm going to hit enter a couple of times to give myself some room, and I'm going to type in our first command, which is going to be turtle dot. So I'm going to say open up that book and find the command called forward, and then in parentheses after forward, I'm going to say 100. All right. Now I'm going to go to run, and I'm going to hit run module. Notice that next to run module is F5, okay? On your laptops that you're typically going to be working with, you may have to hit function F5. So there's going to be a function key on your keyboard. You're going to press and hold that, and then you're going to hit F5, okay? Up here, I'll do this once by hitting run module, but every other time that I run module, I'm going to hit my keyboard shortcut F5, okay? When I do that, it's going to say to be source must be saved. Okay to save. Now we're going to hit OK to that every time, but if you want to avoid this little box popping up, what you can also do is you can go ahead and hit File, Save. Again, we see that there's another keyboard shortcut here, Control S. So if I press and hold Control S, I want you to look at this little asterisk right up here. When I hit Control S, that asterisk disappears. That tells me I have just saved my file. If I type in a letter and get rid of that letter, it tells me you made a change. I haven't been saved since you made that change. It doesn't matter that we went back to the way it was before. Python just recognizes, hey, you made some sort of a change. So I hit Control S, and then I'm going to hit run module. Okay? And now we have this Python turtle graphics open up. We see that we have a little arrow with a line behind it. Okay? Let's change around what my code is. So that was turtle.forward 100. Let's see turtle.forward 200. We're going to save. We're going to run. And we see that little arrow travel further across the screen. So we can see that turtle.forward tells the turtle, which is my little arrow here, to draw a line across the screen a specified distance. Okay, so this is some number. All right, that number is in pixels. So it's saying draw a line across the screen at 200 pixels, okay? I could also, if I really wanted to, tell it to go in a negative direction. I could tell it to go negative 200. I save, I run, and it will go backward. And we see that my arrow points the wrong way, but it does go backward, all right? I'm going to change this back around to turtle.forward 100, all right? Now, the other thing that we can do here is we can tell the turtle to turn, okay? So if I go turtle.left, and then we see this little hint pop up, and with most of these, after you save and run your file for the first time, you're going to notice these hints pop up after you type in that first parenthesis. So it says angle, turn turtle left by angle units. Okay, so what that means, if you've taken geometry before, you may already know what this angle is. If you haven't, that's okay. We're going to go over some very, very basics of this, okay? So a circle has 360 degrees in it. If I draw a circle on my screen, we will get we divide that up into a degree, okay? So we're going to look at what left 90 looks like, and I'm going to go ahead and tell the turtle to also go forward by another 100, okay? So we're going to see turtle.left 90, turtle.forward 100. I think it's going to make it a little bit easier to see what I mean by angles in a circle, okay? So I told the turtle to go forward 100, so that was that first line right up here. Then I told it to go left by 90, so the turtle turned to the left, and then it went forward again. If I get rid of this forward line down here, and we save and we run this again, we can see our turtle doesn't actually go anywhere. It just turns to the left. We can see that that arrow turned to the left, and it's now facing straight up, okay? Let's do that turtle.forward again. We're going to look at that one more time, okay? Save and run, okay? Now, let's reduce that number. Let's reduce it down to 45. That's half of 90. Okay, if I save and run this, we're going to see that now, since it's only going half of 90, it's going up like this. Okay, so the basic idea behind a circle and these degree units is that in a circle, there are 360 degrees. If I tell the turtle to turn to the left by 360 degrees, what we're going to see happen is we're going to see our turtle, our arrow, turn in a circle, and then it's going to continue off in the same direction that it was going before. So let's see that. There we go. We saw it turn in a circle and go off in the same direction. So 360 degrees is all the way around. If we tell it to go 180 degrees, which is half of 360, then we'll see that our turtle goes forward, turns around, and goes back the same way it came. Okay? All of this to say, we can use this information to make very, very basic shapes. Okay? So if I have turtle.forward 100, turtle.left 90, and I do this again, and I do it 4 times, so I'm going to make this really easy on myself, and I'm going to copy it. So it's really simple in coding. We might want to do the same thing multiple times. So an easy way to do that here is highlighting all of this. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to paste it. Okay, so I have turtle.forward 100, turtle.left 90, and I'm going to do that 4 times. I hit save, I hit run, and there we have it. By telling it to do that 4 times, I have made for myself a square. Let's say that I change all of these down to units of 45. Whoop, not that much, okay? So turtle.left 45. Let's see what changes this time around. So I save this, I run it, okay? And it kind of looks like I've made half of a stop sign here. So if I copy all of this again, so this time around I'm not going to hit right click and copy. I'm going to use keyboard shortcut Control and C at the same time. Control and C, and I'm going to use keyboard shortcut Control and V. Now if I save this and I run it, okay, I've made myself an octagon, or it kind of looks like a stop sign, all right? The other thing I want you to take note of here, and this is kind of the last thing that's relevant to the first in-class activity that we're going to go over, is if turtle.forward exists, then turtle.backward exists, okay? And if turtle.left exists, then turtle.right exists, okay? So with a lot of these commands, kind of the opposite of that command is going to be around as well. So turtle.backward is going to tell it, if we save this and tell it to go, the turtle goes backward, okay? It's kind of the same as when we told the turtle to go forward, but in a negative direction, okay? So this is kind of the same thing, and that's what you're going to find in code, is it's the same thing. We're telling the turtle to do the same thing, just in multiple different ways. One more thing I want to go over is, let's go back to that square that we made before. Turtle.forward 100, okay? And so turtle.left 90, okay? And we're going to copy this, and we're going to do it 4 times, okay? We're going to save, we're going to run. Oh, hold on. It would help if I spelled turtle correctly. So you may encounter something like this while you're running. Okay, so you can see we ran everything just fine, but then we have this traceback, most recent call, blah, 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 blah. Name error, name turtle to is not defined. Did you mean turtle? So Python's pretty good at guessing at what you meant to do. So basically what it's saying is in line 4, so we go up here, and I'm going to go to options so that we can actually see my line numbers. All right, so in line 4 it says turtle is not defined. Did you mean turtle? I look up here and I say, I typed in turtle wrong. My own fault, okay? So we're going to type in turtle instead. I'm going to copy this, get rid of all that stuff. Whoop, got rid of too much. That's okay. I'm going to just get rid of all of it, and we're going to put that down 4 times again. I save it, I run it. There we go. Now we're good to go, okay? The other thing I want to draw your attention to is what happens if we change the order of these things. So let's get rid of line 6. I'm going to copy line 6. I'm going to get rid of it. And I'm going to put it up here, okay? So we have the same number of commands here, and we have the same kinds of commands, but now we're putting them in a different order, okay? And when we put them in a different order, let's think about what might happen here. Turtle.forward 100, it's going to send the turtle forward 100 units, it's going to turn the turtle to the left 90 units, and then it's going to turn the turtle left again 90 units. So that's kind of the same as if we said 180, but we have those same commands, right? And then we tell the turtle to go forward twice in a row. So these are the same commands that we use to make a square, but you're going to find that this isn't going to make a square anymore. So if we run this, so that doesn't make a square anymore. It's the same commands, but they're in a different order. What I want you to take away from that is understand that when we're working in Python, the order of our instructions matter, okay? Say that you are getting up in the morning and you're going to go brush your teeth to get your day started, okay? It would be the same thing as if you got your toothbrush out, brushed your teeth, and then put toothpaste on your toothbrush. Well, you followed the same set of steps. You followed the same set of steps to brush your teeth, but you did things in the wrong order. You never put any toothpaste on your teeth, okay? So it's important that we get things in the right order when we're working with Python. All right. Now, this is the end of the content necessary to complete in-class activity number 1. We're now moving on to in-class activity number 2, okay? In-class activity number 2, we're going to look at a couple new lines of code. And everything else here is kind of going to go by a little fast, but remember, you can pause this video and you can look it over at any time, okay? Now, in-class activity number 2, what we're going to go over. This line here, I like it. I like that we're drawing a line here, but it's a little boring. It's a little, it's boring. I don't like it. We can change different properties about this line. So a property is like something that is associated with the line. So one of the properties of the line might be the thickness of the line. So I'm going to have this turtle.forward100. We're going to keep that there. Then I'm going to type in a command turtle.width. And when I type in this parenthesis, it says set or return the line thickness. And we're going to do that set portion of it. I'm going to say 5. Okay? And then I'm going to tell the turtle to go forward again by another 100, okay? If we save this and run this, we're going to see that difference, okay? So we can see that the turtle thickness here was 1. We can see that the turtle thickness here is 5, okay? And what that is, that's counting in pixels, okay? So we went from a 1 pixel thickness to a 5 pixel thickness. What's the upper limit on this? Really, the sky's kind of the limit here. So if you want to type in some crazy number like 100, turtle.thickness 100, and move it forward by 100, we're going to save, we're going to run this. Kaboom! We have a gigantic thick line, okay? We can type in absolutely outrageous numbers. I encourage you to try different numbers on your own. Don't be limited, okay? So type in whatever number you want. Now, I will say, I haven't tried this before. I'm doing something live on the video. So truly live reaction, live Mr. Bursten reaction. I don't believe a negative number will work. Okay, so if we try to type in -5 and we try to tell the turtle to go forward again by 100, I'm willing to bet this isn't going to work, and I'll go over why. Okay, so, yep. So take a look here. Bad screen distance -5, all right? Basically what that's saying, right, is when we're looking at the turtle graphics, it really freaked out there and said, I have no idea what -5 is because I can't make a line of thickness -5. Again, you know, positive numbers are going to work here, okay? So save, run, we see that line thickness change. But what good is changing the thickness if we also can't mess around with the color of the line as well? So the line has been black the whole time. It doesn't have to stay black, okay? If I do turtle.color, okay, and it says return or set the pen color and fill color, okay? So we're going to divide these things up. Turtle.color alone isn't really what I want to use here. We're going to use pen color, okay? So pen color is specifically the color of the line that the turtle is leaving behind. And for the purposes of my class, we're going to keep things really simple, and we're going to use names of colors. But I'm going to go over something specific with Python and a general coding concept that you should know about. And that is that typically when we're writing in words, we need to put them in quotes. So I'm going to tell you, turtle.penColor red is going to set the color to red, but I'm missing something important here, and this isn't going to work yet, okay? So I'm telling it, go forward 100, change the thickness to 5, go forward 100 again, change the color to red, and go forward again. Okay, save, run this. And it's going to freak out at me. It says name red not defined. If I put 2 quotation marks, just like this, around the color red, we're going to see that this is going to work now, okay? And there we have it. So I have a line that started at thickness of 1, went to thickness of 5, and then changed our color to red. Nothing is saying that you can't change these things all at once, by the way. So instead of just saying pen color red, let's also turtle dot width, and we'll change the width to 10. Okay? Save it, run this, and so we can see we changed two different things at once. We changed the thickness of the line and the color of the line all to red. Okay? For the purposes of my class, what you need to know here is that if red is a color, then yellow is a color. Okay? If yellow is a color, now yellow is a little bit hard to see here, then green is a color. Okay? A color that you can think of is a color you can write in. Okay? And I will go beyond that and tell you that kind of unique colors that you can think of as well also typically work. Let's try the color aqua. Save, run. There's aqua for you. Let's try the color teal. Save, run this. There's teal. Let's try the color gold. Save, run this, and we have the color gold. Okay, so lots of different colors work. If you want to find more information about this, go to Google, type in X11 color names. There's a Wikipedia article called X11 colors. Open that up. You're going to find a huge list of colors in there. Not every color name is going to work, but most of those color names are going to work. And again, if you type in a color that doesn't exist, we'll try gobble, because I know gobble's not going to be a color. I save this, I run it. It'll tell you, okay, bad color string gobble. It says, I don't know what gobble is. I don't know what color that is, okay? But it does know what the color silver is, okay? So play around with different words, see what words work. This is the end of in-class activity number 2. I am now moving on to in-class activity number 3 and the content for in-class activity number 3. So, we've gone over how to move the turtle. We've gone over how to turn the turtle. We've gone over how to change the thickness of the line of the turtle. We've gone over how to change the pen color of the turtle. Now, let's do something really cool. Let's make a shape and fill in the color of that shape. So I'm going to get rid of all of this that we currently have, and I'm going to do a little bit of setup for myself. I'm going to say turtle dot width. I'm going to say 3. I'm going to say turtle dot pen color is going to be gold. Okay. Now what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to we'll make a hexagon. So I will do turtle dot forward 100. Control C, Control V. Oh, let's also get my turn commands in here. So we'll say to the left 60, because I know if I turn it to the left 60 degrees, that's going to be enough to make a hexagon. Okay. So I'm going to put down a few of these. We're going to need 6 of them in total. We save this. We run it. Let's check. I have myself a hexagon here. Now I want to fill in that hexagon with the color black. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go up here at the very beginning, and I'm going to say turtle dot set fill. Turtle dot, let's make sure that I get this right. It should be set fill. One moment. Let's do turtle dot fill color. Hold on. Been a moment since Mr. Bursten has done this. There we go. All right. So we're going to set the fill color. Okay. The fill color is literally what are we going to fill that shape in with. And we're going to do the color black. Okay. So turtle dot fill color black. Now let's save it and run it. And what you're going to see is, didn't fill in that shape with the color black. We have to give the turtle a couple more commands so that it knows what to do. Let's do turtle dot begin fill. Okay. And Mr. Bursten may make a fool of himself here. I don't recall if begin fill and turtle dot end fill. Let's lowercase that f. So I think begin fill and end fill take a lowercase f. Let's save. Let's run. There we go. Okay, so Python called it out to me. It said it has nothing called begin fill. Did you mean begin underscore fill? And that's what we need. Okay, so we're going to do begin underscore fill and end underscore fill. So what this is going to tell Python to do is, ta-da, okay, it's going to tell Python, start your fill up here and end your fill down here. When you see this end fill, then we're going to finish filling in that shape. Let's make one more shape and really see how this works. So I'm going to change the turtle.fill color to, we'll do red this time, okay? And I'm going to make a box beneath this. So I'll do turtle.forward 100, and I'm going to have it turn to the right this time. Turtle.right 90. I'm going to copy this a few times. Let's make sure that box should be appearing beneath my hexagon, okay? So let's run this. There we go. All right, so that made that box. I set the fill color to red, but I didn't tell it to begin and end the fill, so I'm going to do turtle.begin fill and turtle.end fill. Save, run this, and I have a filled in hexagon with a filled in square beneath it. And that is how turtle.fill color works. So we need 3 different commands to go with that: turtle.fill color, turtle.begin fill, and turtle.end fill. I hope this video helped you out a little bit. I hope this helped you recall everything. This is everything that I teach regarding the turtle. I do little things here and there during class to talk about some other things that we can do with the turtle. But in order to complete my assignments, this is enough to complete in-class activity number 3. And all 3 of these together, all of this video in total, is enough to complete Python lesson assignment 00. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me during class. Of course, this video will also be public, so I don't know if I'm going to leave comments on or not, but if comments are on, then feel free to ask me a question down in the comments as well. I hope you found this video useful, and have a wonderful day.